Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Tony Carvajal, the Executive Vice President of Florida TaxWatch, and I'm joined today with none other than Dominic Calabro. And Dominic, it has been an exciting week here in town. I know we've got a lot of things coming up with our annual meeting, but before we get that, even though the legislature is not in town, there's news to be made on issues that we've been dealing with. Senate President Simpson started talking about prison closures this last week, and I know that we've been talking about that. What are your thoughts?
Florida TaxWatch really commends President Wilton Simpson for bringing that issue up. I know it's also something that House Speaker Chris Sprowls has strongly endorsed and recommended. I think those are very wise leaders. Their recommendations are very practical. They're common sense. They will help pay for increased salaries for prison guards. Right now, we have such an extraordinarily high turnover of our correctional officers that is very, very costly to taxpayers. In some cases, more than 50% in some different prison installations in a very short period of time. We're training ground for other correctional law enforcement personnel, and it's just really hurting the taxpayers of Florida by with these situations. So we think TaxWatch has long recommended reducing the prison population from once, just a few years ago, it was over 100,000. Pre-pandemic, now post-pandemic, it's around 90, low 90,000 or so. TaxWatch has recommended we bring that over a 5-year period of time down to somewhere in the neighborhood of 60,000 or so, make it manageable, do that over 5 years, but manage it. We're not managing the system well. And that's essentially what Senate President Simpson and Speaker Sprowls are saying. Let's manage the system better so that we can afford to pay these salary increases, be more competitive, reduce turnover, but also I think some of the savings can also be used to provide health care, particularly mental health services and substance abuse treatment for a lot of our inmates. And the whole thing is because of our US and state constitutions with due process and equal protection, once they serve their prison sentence, or 85% of that prison sentence, they will go out into the communities. And you want to make sure that they've had the mental health services, they've had the transitional services that allow them to be more productive citizens. It will save the taxpayers of Florida incredible amount of public safety, savings of limbs and property, but also tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. So they're absolutely correct. But when you do that, you've also got to repurpose many of those public institutions. We've already closed 2 prisons. We're looking at closing 2, possibly 4 more by consolidating them, make sure we don't have underutilized prisons. But the other thing I really like about what they're doing is they're finding organic savings. So I say, look, you want to have salary increases in this area of government, in this case, prisons and the corrections department. Find the savings within your own operations and then redirect it.